I think the question, as far as I understood it, was, in the rise of the BRICS, will Africa get left behind or will it be taken forward? The truth is it's up to Africa. But let me just say this. There's no doubt that in the context of Europe underperforming, we're talking about growth rates in Europe of 0.3%. In the United States, benign growth rates, very low growth. And the BRIC countries, on balance, are carrying the world economy. Africa is growing around 5%. So the truth is that investors, multinationals, large corporations around the world have noticed this about Africa. And they are increasingly asking the question, how can they invest in the Africa growth story? So we are at a peculiar stage in the world where on the one hand, some of our trading partners are in a very difficult position. On the other hand, we can benefit from getting those potential investors to invest alongside Africans. And so I always say to everyone, in Africa, we Africa have our wind to the back. And if we do the right things, we can grow the economies of Africa significantly. If you add to that, that we have partners from Brazil, Russia, India, and China who want to collaborate with us on the world stage. Take one example, the appointment of the IMF or World Bank or the restructuring of the United Nations, which we talked about earlier. The BRICS provides the leverage for otherwise relatively small countries on the world stage to combine points of view. And so Africa has in the BRICS political alliance a political home, and we have in those partners economic actors that are hugely powerful. Without them, Africa would be relatively unleveraged in those negotiations. So if our African colleagues, the African Union, the big countries in Africa combine effectively, I think we will be in a much better position to play our role both on the world stage and in attracting investments into Africa. But it's really up to the countries.